Over 25 million women and children are trafficked annually. Online platforms make it easier than ever to exploit minors. Ordering a minor is as easy as ordering takeout online. Every swipe, every click, every transaction fuels a $150 billion industry of modern-day slavery. Trafficking isn't hidden, it's in plain sight.
Tonight on Dr. Phil Primetime. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. At just 15 years old, Natalie was trafficked from Dallas. Did it hit you that you were being abducted? You're sedated, raped, they just kept you in a haze.
I was very out of it and confused.
Where are they getting these people from, and how are they being put into the sex trade?
The #1 recruiter is a female.
No one is truly safe until we all know the truth. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on manipulation, coercion, and unimaginable suffering. And it's happening right here in the United States. Human trafficking is one of the most underreported crimes, leaving us with only a fraction of the true scope. It's in our cities, our suburbs, and even our social media feeds. Tonight, we'll expose the shocking tactics traffickers use to lure victims, hear from survivors who escaped the unthinkable, and learn what you can do to stop modern-day slavery. This is the wake-up call America needs, because no one is truly safe until we all know the truth. My first guest, who goes by Lisa, has been a private investigator for 13 years and an informant working undercover to probe alleged human trafficking. She does it with the help of a remote team member, pinpointing high traffic locations and collecting data by engaging with ads posted on the dark web. Lisa gave us exclusive access on one of her missions to surveil suspected hotspots and show us what type of information she passes on to police.
Okay, we are here.
Let's see if we can get a room number from them. Again, there's multiple ads, multiple phone numbers, and at least 20 girls. I'll send you guys one of the ads right now.
Got it. A lot of these ads from these places, it's like, ordering takeout. And we've got a guy that's in the parking lot on his phone with his dog. He's definitely a spotter. And then you have a guy that's walking around in the parking lot on his phone, and he's communicating to somebody. These guys have this place locked down. So I've got your other pimp walking in right now.
There's a Mustang.
I think that this has got to be our guy running this ring, because he's the one that's circling the parking lot like crazy. These guys are making a lot of money. 120 for every 15 minutes, making about $1 million a year.
She just texted me in Spanish and asked if we're the police, and I said no.
Yeah, the guy with the hat, you see the pimp, and that young girl, she's working there.
That's your arrangement right there.
Yeah.
She said we can leave if we're not going to knock on the door.
Doesn't look right.
What do we got?
I'm bored.
Lisa and her team had been spotted, so they had to move on to their next location and do so in a hurry.
We'll also be looking at illicit massage businesses that are full service. We're going to go see what we can get as far as surveillance for law enforcement. Oh my goodness, there's a kindergarten. You got to be kidding me. We have a school right next to a very, very, very popular, active illicit massage business. And we have John #2 walking out. Let's go.
Do you have gift cards?
Gift card?
No, I don't have.
You don't have gift cards?
No, okay.
No? Who gives a massage in shorty shorts and high heels? The reason why we ask for gift cards is that most legitimate massage places are going to have a gift card system. But illicit businesses, they don't have a gift card system. So we're gonna take the information that we found today, shoot this over to law enforcement. Hopefully some girls will be saved for sure, and we can identify these traffickers.
Okay, now while we do not have rock hard proof of human trafficking, Lisa and her team have strong suspicion that that is exactly what's going on in these locations. Law enforcement will get her intel and decide whether to charge these businesses. Now, this is Lisa's first ever media appearance, and for her safety, we're keeping her identity concealed, and that's why you're seeing a bit of a different image. And look, thank you for doing this, first off.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this, and thank you for doing what you're doing. Both. Why did you decide to start doing this?
Well, we were seeing a lot of ads online, and I was working in cell forensics, and I was seeing a lot of stuff come across the cell phones, started to put together data and target packages for law enforcement as an informant, and then decided to do a nonprofit.
Okay, now you say cell forensics. It wasn't investigating this type thing.
No, it was downloading mobile phones for law firms and working in the capacity of getting the data off of the phones. We were seeing a lot of trafficking, and then transferred into working as an informant, and then partnered with an intelligence team. And now we build target packages for law enforcement.
Okay, so you were looking for other things, and you just started noticing, wow, there's just an awful lot going on here that seemed to you suspicious.
Absolutely. It was a lot of sex ads.
And what you were seeing were sex ads popping up that were just being sent to people, unsolicited sex ads?
Sex ads that were being sent back and forth, but also people going to the sites and looking for sex on their phones.
Okay. And these are specific sites that people know to go to.
Correct.
Okay. And so when you see these, you know, particularly if they intensify in a particular area, then you know, okay, where are these sex workers coming from? And that's where you start to get bothered.
Yes.
Okay. And the sex workers come from where? When you say they're trafficked, where do these providers, pimps, kidnappers, traffickers, whatever you want to call them in a certain context, where are they getting these girls, mostly girls, some guys, of course, some young men, but where are they getting these people from?
Well, you're going to have a difference between domestic trafficking and migrant trafficking. Domestic trafficking can come from grooming, can come from kidnapping. When you talk about migrant trafficking, that's a lot of the people that come in from the border, male, female, and children.
Okay. Let's talk about domestically. We're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There's millions of people here. And some of these young girls are actually from this area. And they're from schools and homes that people encounter every day. How do they come to be trafficked? They might be in a home in the Metroplex area here one week, and the next week they're showing up in these motels or massage parlors or whatever. How are they getting acquired by these bad actors, and how are they being put into the sex trade?
Well, we see girls, boys, mostly girls, coming in from out of state. A lot of them, they hook up with a female recruiter or considered a boyfriend, and the next thing they know, they're being trafficked into Texas, and now they're in a sex trafficking ring. We see people that are plied with drugs or alcohol, ketamine, and the next thing they know, they're being photographed and they're uploaded to porn sites, and then they're leveraged into trafficking as well.
Okay, and you say they hook up with, so there's some girl at a mall, there's some girl at a sporting event. Where are they hooking up, and how are they approached, and what do they say to them?
Well, what we're finding is the number one recruiter is a female, and they can be working at the mall. They can be tricked into thinking they're going into modeling. It can be somebody that befriends them that they don't know very well. They can pick them up from a party, and the next thing they know, they're being drugged and brought into the trafficking rings. It can be many different places that they gather these victims.
Okay, so it's usually, if you say the best recruiter is a female,
Yes.
so they're not as put off by that. So a woman, usually someone older, approaches them and starts befriending them, talking to them, and maybe offers them something, alcohol, drugs, you want to go with me somewhere, et cetera, tells them something they want to hear, gives them something that they think they want, but it's more than they bargained for. And they get them into an altered state of consciousness where they can manipulate them and move them, get them somewhere, and then they're not able to leave.
Correct.
And they give them a lot of drugs where now they're just simply don't have the ability to take the initiative to get up and go save themselves.
Correct.
Okay. Now, coming up, a night out with Lisa, who tracks this kind of thing, deals with this kind of thing. And by the way, Lisa's not some cowboy that's just out recklessly doing this because she wants to be some do-gooder. She works with law enforcement. She's not a vigilante. She gathers information. She lets law enforcement know what she's doing before she does it. She gives the information over to law enforcement afterwards. She's not, trying to ride in on some white horse and do something dramatic. She's responsibly gathering information with sponsorship from law enforcement, turning it over to law enforcement, and sharing very important critical information. And thank you for doing what you do. What you're hearing here is really a prototype. I mean, this is exactly what happens.
It is. And first of all, I'd like to say I am so sorry for what happened to you, but you are a hero and you are courageous. And thank you so much for speaking out so that you can give a heads up to other potential victims that don't see the warning signs. They don't know that there's the possibility this can happen. And unfortunately, this does happen more than people know.
And that's the problem. You went to multiple locations, multiple states, and they just kept you in a haze.
Yeah.
All right. And there was a third guy at the apartment. You're held at a makeshift apartment for a couple of days. You're sedated, raped by a man and his friend. And at one point, you were dropped off on a strip of a road and told to make money with a plan to be picked up later. These pictures that they were taking, you got a private investigator involved, right?
Yes.
And this person went on the dark web.
I'm not even 100% sure of his methods, but we were referred to him by a friend of a friend, and I sent him, and just in desperation of not having any leads and any assistance with, police or anything, sent him some pictures, and he just said, "I'll call you back if there's a match." I didn't really know what was going to be matched, but later found out it was facial recognition type stuff.
Okay, and he came back with a report that said she is on some sites and she is up for sale.
Yes, he told me, I think I've got a match, and it was only, I think, 86% of a match. So, he said, that's still pretty good, but, he said, I'm going to show you how to get to these pictures. And he did. And even when I saw the photos of her, I don't know if my brain wouldn't process it, but I had to get verification from my husband and my mom that it indeed really was her.
And the ad was for her up for sale.
Yes.
To buy her.
Yes.
We're talking to sex trafficking survivor Natalie. You had no idea what they were doing with these pictures. You had no idea you were up for sale. How often does this happen, Lisa, in terms of how often do they keep control and just exploit them? You said in some of these sex trafficking places, it's like $120 for 15 minutes, and then other times they sell them. What's the difference? How do they decide? Keep them, work them, sell them?
I think it's going to depend. Sex trafficking ring to sex trafficking ring. You can have traffickers flip girls from one location to the other. They might get an inkling that people are looking for them. It might be missing girl or boy pages online, and they might transfer them out of state. So we see trafficking rings working Oklahoma, Louisiana with Texas that are part of the same ring, and they'll flip them in and out, but they keep them in the rings as long as they can. I mean, we've seen rings that are working out of motel sites for up to 4 months, which is, unusual, but we've seen it. And it's the same girls rotating in and out, and then they'll move them.
And when they sell them, how much do they sell them for?
I think that's going to vary in range. When you're getting $120 for 15 minutes, or in some rings, it's $160 for 30 minutes, there's no telling what the price tag can be for some of these victims.
Yeah, because that's approaching $1,000 an hour, $800 to $1,000 an hour. And so that's a lot of money per day. So if they sell them, it's got to be for a lot of money.
It is for a lot of money.
You next encountered a man